Hey folks, man, this is Cory, and we are back with another From the Canopy podcast episode. And this is the Movie Massacre. This is just a show about film. And subscribe to the channel because we're gonna be back with more. And I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobby Blockbuster.
Yo.
And we got Cornelius, aka Evil Corny.
Hey, people. Oh, sorry. Yo.
Yeah, man, that's what's what. We're back with another one. This is a slow week film wise, but I did go out to see some stuff, unfortunately. But I do got a little bit of news we should get into. I want to talk about real quick. First of all, this is probably the most disappointing news I'm about to mention.
As you guys smile.
Morbius has been delayed by Sony. It's been pushed back till April, and unfortunately, usually January, February are really slow months.
Yeah.
We get a lot of films that are dumped on us in a way. They just throw them out there and see what they do. But I was actually looking forward to Morbius being something that might be a bit entertaining. It have potential.
Just give us a little something extra. And didn't they already push it back a couple times due to the COVID situation?
Yes.
Come on now.
Well, they pushed it back to April of 2023.
It's going to be pushed back to April. I don't have the exact date just yet, but definitely April. But this is the crazy part. So, Venom: Let There Be Carnage is going to be returning to theaters as a reissue, which is really weird. But I don't know. I've been thinking about this in my head. Maybe the success of Spider-Man: No Way Home has sparked interest in just Spider-Man properties in general, and maybe they feel like they could, get some more out of Venom and Carnage while they push Venom back. While they put Morbius back, but I don't even know why you would push Morbius back. Maybe there was an issue. Maybe they had to shoot some stuff or change some stuff around and they needed more time.
Or they needed to come up with an idea for another post-credit.
Yeah, I can't call it.
Movies doing that shit now, you know what I'm saying? Kudos to Marvel for that.
Yeah, but that's going
down. Y'all just tell me how it is, because like I told y'all a while back, not planning on seeing that in the theater.
All right.
I'm definitely.
I'll be right there, boy.
Yeah.
This is the first action of the year, and then action big time. They spent some money,
and don't be surprised if that one gets some kind of kind of intertwined with like the introduction of Blade and all that other stuff.
I can't even think of anything coming out between here and April. Like, dang, I really wish they came out this month, because I saw something today that was straight doo doo. All right, so. The other story, we got some Golden Globe Awards. They went down, so we got some winners, and these kind of give you a little bit of barometer check for the Oscars. So I'm gonna go through this list real quick. Best Picture Drama winner is The Power of the Dog, and I still gotta watch this. I think this is a Western starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, Jesse Plemons. I think it might be streaming on one of these.
It's on Netflix.
Netflix?
I saw it back in December.
Okay, Power of the Dog. So, Best Music, West Side Story. Best Actress Motion Picture Drama, Nicole Kidman for Being the Ricardos. Best Actor Motion Picture Drama is Will Smith, and that would have been my pick. Even for Oscar season, I love that. That film. What else we got here? Best Actress Motion Picture Musical Comedy, Rachel Zegler for West Side Story. I kind of disagree, but it is what it is. Best Actor Motion Picture Musical Comedy is going to be Andrew Garfield for Tick Tick Boom. Best Supporting Actress Motion Picture is going to be Ariana DeBose, who played the sister in West Side Story. I tend to agree. She's pretty good in that. Best Supporting Actor Motion Picture, Cody Smith McPhee for Power of the Dog. What else we got here? What's that noise?
It sounded magical.
Oh, it's a train here.
Oh, okay. Best Director of Motion Pictures, Jane Campion for Power of the Dog. Best Screenplay Motion Picture, Kenneth Branagh for Belfast. Best Picture Animated, Encanto. Best Picture Non-English Language, Foreign, Drive My Car. Haven't heard of that. What else we got here? Best Score of Motion Picture is Hans Zimmer for Dune. Best Song Motion Picture is No Time to Die. I guess that was that Billie Eilish? It did the theme song for No Time to Die?
Yeah.
Best drama series, Succession, and I think the rest of this is TV, and we don't care about that because we are the Movie Massacre.
There we go.
And that's it for my news. What you got for trailers, Bob?
Oh, did you want to give the?
Oh, my bad. I forgot the other two stories. Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Sidney Poitier. He passed away. What was his age? He was about
94.
94. Wow, I didn't even know he was still here, to be honest. But this is crazy, man. Sidney Poitier was such a phenomenal actor, just period, but also broke down a lot of barriers for Black people. I think he was the first Black male actor to win a Oscar.
Male.
What was the film? What was the film?
I'm drawing a blank.
First, man, we know that. What was the film? It's been a long day, man. We trying to, but yeah, known for great things such as Raising in the Sun.
I think Lily's in the Field, but I'll have to look it up.
Lily's in the Field, To Serve with Love. Just a great talent, man, and just a really great guy overall. I think was he the one that was doing the buddy comedies with Bill Cosby? Was that him? Uptown Saturday Night, and those classic films, dude. Classic guy. No one has anything bad to say about him. Just a graceful, beautiful human being, man. And honestly, I need to go back and just rewatch some of those films, man. I love Heat of the Night. And one of his favorites that I remember was that To Serve with Love, man. That's a crazy film right there. And also, there was a film he did with Robert Berenger that came on TV back in the day. And I remember I was a kid when I saw this, man. I think it was the TV debut. Also the Defiant Ones. But the one I'm talking about was, I think it was him and Berenger, and they were trying to track down this dude that kidnapped his wife that was played by Kirstie Alley. And it was crazy because Berenger was like this rugged mountain guy, and then and he was dragging Sidney Poitier along with him in a way, so kind of helping him along, but Sidney Poitier is slowing him down, but he's being stubborn. I can't remember the name of that fucking movie, but it was just so good watching that as a kid, man, seeing that play out.
See, I think I know what you're talking about.
He won his.
I'm looking at his list right now.
He won an Oscar for Lilies in the Field. That was his first Oscar.
What else we got here? Yeah, man. Also, man, it's crazy, man. We also lost Bob Saget. And he doesn't have as many movie credits, but he has been in films. But
he's directed.
Beloved actor, comedian, director, and rose to fame with Full House, also America's Funniest Videos, man. Like he was a staple on that for many years, man. And then none of us can forget his ultimate cameo and then the Half Baked, dude. Like, have you ever sucked for weed? Which blew us out of the water because we're so used to him playing this clean-cut family guy, not forgetting that this guy was a stand-up comedian.
He was raunchy.
Who came up the ranks though with the other comedians? He was just as he delivered his work as equal as his peers, which sometimes went raunchy, man. Like it's
and then but then he like you said he was like almost like set the bar for like single dad, in Full House, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he
was the standard bar. Like
was it Danny Tanner?
Danny Tanner, yeah, man.
So he showed up in I guess I'm looking at this thing. Some of these could be wrong because some of these lists they're not exactly clear on what role he played in them. But I got Dirty Work from '98 in here.
Probably helped write
that. I want to say he might have directed Dirty Work. I might be wrong. I'm trying to look that up now.
And he might have did a voice in Madagascar. Also, The Farce of the Penguins, New York Minute, Dumb and Dumberer. He's got a credit on here. Comedy Central Roast, definitely, working in that series. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
He did direct Dirty Work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up because Norm Macdonald was actually in that film.
Dang,
he passed last year.
Mm-hmm. It's just a staple of the comedy and film scene, man. It's sad, dude, but rest in peace to those guys,
yes,
man.
Indeed.
What you got for this trailer load, man?
All right, so first things first, we got a film that's it's right around the corner. It's dropping January 28th, and it's called Sundown. And It's directed by Michael Franco, which is James Franco's, I'm assuming, and it revolves around a wealthy man who's vacationing with his loved ones at a resort in Acapulco, Mexico, until he receives a phone call that a family member has passed away, and so the family has to go back to the States, and he pretends that he lost his passport, which delays his return. And as you watch the trailer, you start getting a little bit of vibes of reasons why he might be staying in vacation mode, you know what I mean? But it looks interesting. There's all kinds of like little indie awards that start as the trailer starts, and our main role is played by Tim Roth, where a lot of movies that I've seen him in, he don't let me down much, you know what I'm saying? I think he brings a lot of weight. And you also get Charlotte Gainsbourg, Samuel Bottomley, and young lady's name that I'm gonna mess it up, Azua Larios, which is probably the best way I could say it, but very attractive young woman. But sorry for butchering your name, but yeah, so that one looks good. It drops for us January 28th.
What's the name of that again?
And it's called Sundown.
Sundown. Okay.
Yeah. The next one.
Michael Franco isn't James Franco's brother, by the way.
He's not.
No.
It's just, how many Francos are there?
Yeah, get out of here. You can't be change your name like everybody else do. I don't want to sound like I'm a Franco, but that's probably his strategy, though. Maybe he wants the people to think that.
Maybe, yeah, because shit, he had me for. I didn't even look though. I just assumed it. You know what they say when you assume. So
when I get in my first movie, my name is I'm gonna be Corey Elba, and I'll be like, that's my brother.
Bro, yeah, what up, bro?
We used to play footy a little bit.
The next one I got is a film called A Banquet, and it's an IFC Midnight. So I'm always on the lookout for those. This one's going to drop for us on February 18th, and it surrounds a widowed mother who is radically tested when her teenage daughter insists that a supernatural experience has left her body in service to a higher power. So, and as you watch this trailer, it's like it shows like she's having issues like eating, and then there's slight innuendos that possibly she could be possessed, but she might just be faking the funk at the same time and just creating issues. You don't know if the mom's going crazy or if she really isn't. But this, IFC hasn't let me down with films like this before. Like they kind of hit those slow burn, high ending impact films pretty well, from what I've seen as of late. So I'm definitely going to check this one out. It drops for us, like I said, February 18th. And as far as cast wise, before I move forward, it's pretty much all from what I saw, a lot of B-listers, respectfully. And it's going to be directed by Ruth Paxton, and it's called A Banquet. So we got another one. This one I had to double check. It's called Last Survivors, and it actually came out in Leeds November 4th of last year, 2021, and it's getting a lot of buzz on Rotten Tomatoes and getting a lot of good reviews and things of that nature.
Where is Leeds, Joe? Is that France?
No, that's England.
Oh, okay.
There you go. So I wasn't even going to try and guess. You know what I'm saying?
I should know that. being that I'm Aegis's brother.
You should, bro. So it's going to drop for us in the States February 4th. So that's so I was really confused when I was looking at it. I was like, if this thing already dropped, why did the trailer just drop for us?
Might have been part of a festival or something.
Yeah. It definitely it came out last year in Leeds in November, And this one, it's I have a soft spot for these post-apocalyptic films. I don't know how many trailers I've brought up that surround this subject matter, but I'm sure it's a lot. But this one is a father that is raising his son in the wilderness in a post-apocalyptic world. And after the son goes out to get medicine for his father, the son defies his father and begins a relationship with a mysterious woman. And from what the trailer seems to give us, is
they all mysterious. Like, show me a woman that's not mysterious. Like,
I mean, I'm sure they have a lot of particular things to say about dudes too. So
I mean, unless you're dating like someone that is familiar, maybe I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But what I did see is like you get that feeling like you don't really know what happened to create this atmosphere or got the world in the situation or the state that it's in. But then you kind of get this feeling like maybe the dad was not being totally honest. You know what I'm saying? Not being totally honest with the son.
So it's like maybe like a Cloverfield Lane kind of situation.
Honestly, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like he was trying to keep him secluded for his own personal reasons, like making him feel like he refers to people as I want to say like outsiders or something like
really need a friend.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit of the Village type vibe from it.
Yeah, like the dad's not being honest, and then so once the son ventures off and he does see that there are other people, and then I mean I'm assuming if the son's been trapped in a cabin his whole young life in the wilderness, he might have never seen a woman, but the son obviously he looks like he's in his mid-20s, so I'm sure his hormones are raging. And then the woman that he seems to cross paths with is actually played by Alicia Silverstone. So
she's still alive.
She's still alive, and she's still attractive too. So there's that. And then
there's no reason she should be dead. Like,
there's no reason she what?
There's no reason she should be dead.
Yeah, she's my age. She's born in '76. I'm still kicking.
I was like, oh yeah, man. But I still remember Crush, that movie she was in, the first one. I was like, that's some strange movie, but whatever. Same time, this one, the other cast members, you get Drew Van Ecker and then Stephen Moyer. Like I said, it's a real snub-nosed cast because it's like.
Is he related to Moyer and Sons?
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. If that's the case, you know what I'm saying.
Shout out to Moyer and Sons,
yeah,
man. If you need anything moved, hit them up.
And yeah,
301 something. I don't know.
Their boxes are durable. They're very durable. We got a lot of those around the job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Easy
Do you remember like the Margot Robbie film that was kind of like this? It was like it's her and Cheryl Ejiofor, and it might be there's a third guy that shows up. Chris Pine's in it too, but she was like living out by herself, and something that happened that killed a lot of people.
You're talking about that? That was actually all right, and then it got weird.
Yeah.
What was that film called? I know what you're talking about.
It sounds familiar just off the cast list. Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna find it in a second. Boom.
But that's what that trailer kind of reminded me of in a way,
Yeah. But like I said,
Z for Zachariah.
Z for Zachariah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like this one, it looks like it's be one of those ones where the atmosphere really kind of just like is going to be the main focal point, and then all the other stuff that happens. But I'm like I said, I have a soft spot for these post-apocalyptic ones. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm definitely gonna check this one out. And the one I'm most excited to bring up, I saved the best for last. I just caught wind and saw the first trailer for the Bob's Burgers movie, which I'm a big fan of the show. Love the whole.
I feel
cast.
so out of the loop because everyone loves this show, but I haven't really sat down and watched the whole episode of it.
I hadn't even watched the whole episode. I never watched.
But I know characters though. I know
Tina.
Tina.
Tina's one of my favorites.
And, like I know
ponies.
some of the characters.
And then you got Bob, and of course you got Gene, who's the son, and then you also get Louise, who's the one who wears the little rabbit hats and stuff. But this one, as far as like synopsis, the best I could find. I mean, you don't get much from the trailer. It looks like it's definitely going to be based off of the show. But the best I could find synopsis wise for what this film is going to be based on, it says the Belchers, who is the family that owns the restaurant, are trying to save the restaurant from closing as a sinkhole forms in front of it, while the kids try to solve a mystery that could also potentially save the family's restaurant. So, in which that's, as far as the show, the TV series goes, that's kind of normally what happens. You got Bob and his wife trying to figure out a way to solve an initial problem, and then the kids venture off and go through a completely different loophole to try to solve the same problem at times, or different ones, and it just kind of gives you that give and take. But
it's not really about burgers then.
Oh, it's always about burgers. It always surrounds around that restaurant.
Every time I look at the imagery, it feel like it's like Nell's Diner but animated.
Yeah. I mean, the cool thing about this trailer is it starts off and it looks like a dope ass like burger. It looks like a dope Burger King commercial. Like you got real, it's showing like the grill and the real beef and all that stuff. And then next thing you know, the beef just turns animated, and then it brings us into the trailer. So I thought that was really cool. Just a nice little way to get the fans, get the motor running a little bit. But and that's going to drop for us on May 27th, 2022, directed by Lauren Bouchard. And as far as the cast, it's all the familiar, faces, voices that we know in the show.
And Robert Loggia.
You said what now?
Robert Loggia. He does a voice. No, I'm making it up. Oh, this is Cory, man.
I didn't write
that down. Who's Robert Loggia?
Robert Loggia. What was that, man? I'm thinking of something. They had a skit that was talking about Robert Loggia. I think that was Family Guy or some shit. But yeah, go continue, man. My bad.
No, so that's pretty much it as far as trailers. You know what I'm saying? So
all right,
yeah, man.
Let's get into these reviews. I guess I'm gonna start with a dud, because I saw this today and I just wanted to get out and have something. This is the newest film that's with a wide release, and I'm going to be talking about the 355. So apparently, people were telling me that name was synonymous with a woman agent of the revolution. That's what this thing is named after, who was kind of a spy and help get that thing going off, us resisting the British. But let's get into the synopsis. So CIA agent Mace Brown joins forces with a rival German agent, a cutting-edge computer specialist, and a Colombian psychologist when a top-secret weapon falls into the hands of a group of mercenaries. Together, the four women embark on a breakneck mission to save the world while staying one step ahead of a mysterious figure who's tracking their every move. So this stars Jessica Chastain, Penelope Cruz, Fan Bingbing, Diane Kruger, Lupita Nyong'o. Sorry, folks, man, I've been drinking. But Edgar Ramirez and Sebastian Stan. And here's the problem with this film, man. Like, I went to see this, man. I'm down. I'm cool with the mindless action. I'm cool with the dummy plot. Like, as long as you entertain me. But the entertainment of this was few and far between, man. And I will say this, man. This thing, like, when you look at a cast like this on paper, you're like, yo, this should be great. The trailer looks kind of cool, but the execution was just mediocre and pretty lackluster at times, man. Like, I think my major complaint was just the plot itself. Just the thing, there was not much of a sense of urgency. I felt like this. The main plot that the bad guys were trying to do didn't give me this pause. We're like, oh my God, y'all better stop him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that feeling from this. And then and I feel bad because this cast is so good on paper, and I don't think anyone really got to flex what they were good at, flex their chops, man. The thing is weird about this film. It's like, I mean, usually when films come out this time of year, like I said, this is our dump era. This is when studios throw off things where they couldn't place them any other place, during the year, or films that they don't expect to do great at all. I will say this, going back to The Great Wall with Matt Damon, this feels like one of those foreign produced films where they just hired a bunch of American actors and this was intended for their market and hoping that the star power would help sell this. So this thing there's a chance it might do good, because the crazy part about it is Fan Bing Bing was my favorite character, and she doesn't show up until like the very end of the film, and when she's there, you notice, like, it woke me up.
She was in the trailer a lot though.
Yeah, that's the thing. So going back and forth with Eric on Concentrated Podcast, he mentioned it on the Facebook earlier. He was like, yeah, I feel like this film was probably mostly Bing Bing's film, and there's probably a cut that's going to hit China that's cut way different, where she has a much bigger role than what we got over here, and it feels like that, dude. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, nothing in this film to me was done particularly well. Like it's passable. There's probably some people who don't mind action films this dumb, but they'll be cool with it. But for me, I don't know, man. I need a little bit more oomph, and I'm very forgiving. You know what I'm saying? So for this to rock and not really thrill me at all, it kind of it's disappointing, man. I'm more sad for them than for the time I wasted. I'm going to waste the time anyway. I just feel bad for the people involved in making this, that this thing didn't come out better. Because I think going back to not too long ago, the film Kate on Netflix, not exactly the same plot line, but we've got a film with a woman lead, in an action film, and I think that was way more entertaining than what this turned out to be, So it is what it is, but I can't recommend this. Wait till it hits a streaming platform, which it probably will sooner or later, but I would stay away, to be honest,
Noted.
The only film I have to talk about this week is Red 11. It's a Robert Rodriguez film. I think he made the film for around $7,000.
I don't believe him, but I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Yeah, but he has a lot of resources, but he's on his property making this. But it costs around $7,000 to make, and it's about a student that's in debt because of a student film, and him and his partner were dealing with some mobsters or whatever, and they owe way more than that $7,000. But he goes in, does like a science experiment, to get the $7,000. He's taking this pill that's supposed to be some kind of fast healing type deal, and it just goes from there. It's a lot of people in the study, and it's a couple things that kind of happen. It might spoil this film to talk too much about it, but there are some interesting side effects with, some of the test subjects. But overall, I thought this was a pretty neat film for $7,000. And he did all this on his compound or whatever, wherever he makes some of his films. So, it's that $7,000 might just be part of the budget. But, if you own
that's like a cheat code, bro. That $7,000 figure, he's a little fudging it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a little different. If I already got the camera, I've already got the film, I've already got the studio to produce this thing, and I've got volunteers. This ain't El Mariachi, bro.
Yeah, right.
But overall, I really thought it was a good film. His son's Rebel and I think Racer. Between them, they wrote and
give his kids names
did
like
music
that.
for it.
He's balling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But he honestly, he is one of my favorite directors, and I didn't know anything about this film. I think I did see Cornelius post that he watched this, and I saw on the poster it said a Robert Rodriguez film. So I really do want to track this down and watch this. He's one of my favorite guys out there. So
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And he's been kicking ass on Book of Boba Fett.
Killing it. I gotta watch the new episode. This is the one time I didn't stay up because I think maybe I was up late, but I was like, man, I need another hour before this premieres, and I just went to sleep because I'm gonna watch that as soon as we're done. New episode.
So yeah, man, I swam through a pool of duds this week as well. I didn't go to the movies. I didn't want to see the 355 because just riding.
I didn't even want to see it, but
dude, riding the 355 around the way is terrifying enough for me.
But look what I do for y'all. Like I went to see that for the audience, man.
Well, you should have just listened to what Eric said because that's the only person that deterred me from seeing it. Yeah, but I actually like the trailer. Looking at the trailer in the theater,
I saw reviews a few days ago that deterred me.
EW Entertainment Weekly gave it a decent review.
They be lying,
and I'm kind of wondering who they who paid them off.
They be in on it because it's got like a 28% on Rotten Tomatoes,
right?
And I still went. Who loves you? Don't say we don't do nothing for you. Viewers, listeners.
That was action I didn't want. I was like, man,
come on, son.
I don't want it on the film. I don't want it on the big screen.
I jumped on that grenade for you.
You're a good man. You're a good man. But of all of the duds I swam through, I came across two good movies. So the first one that I watched that I really enjoyed was a film called No Man of God, and it came out August 27th of last year, so it's still fairly new, but it's pretty much based on the real life transcripts that were selected from conversations between serial killer Ted Bundy and a FBI special agent by the name of Bill Hagmaier. He's supposed to be one of the best or the most notable. I want to say, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? Like a profiler, a serial killer profiler. And so pretty much this is like a documentation of their encounters that took place from 1985 until 1989 when Ted Bundy was actually, executed, death by electric chair. And the thing about this, I mean, they've made a lot of films based on this individual.
They gotta stop sweating Bundy.
Yeah, I don't support nor condone this man in any way. But what I'll say about this film, it was entertaining. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it because it was tastefully done. You know what I mean? Like we didn't have to go through the whole process of what he did to get into jail. I didn't see a single kill scene. It didn't have to give us no backtracks or no little thoughts of him having, done these things. We didn't get none of those visuals, which I thought that was a good approach. And, I don't know if it had to do because I mean it was directed by Amber Seeley, and so that's big high five to her for taking that approach, and plus with him being the way he was towards women, that might have had something to do with it, but nevertheless, and respect for the dead, what I'm saying, or those that have passed. So with that being said, like I said, this film is pretty much, it's all dialogue, and normally a film where there's no action, there's no kind of visual anything regardless of the subject matter. If all it is just two people or a few people just talking, constantly conversing, those films normally just kind of like they lose my attention. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it's been for the films that I've seen that have followed that credo in the past, minus a few good gems. And this one actually happened to be one of those, and I think that was because of the casting, where you had Elijah Wood playing the role of the FBI agent Hagmaier, and then this dude Luke Kirby. I have to look to see what other things that he's been in, but he nailed Ted Bundy. Like, I mean, the mannerisms, the the way he put his little twist on it. I mean, it started to give me that feeling like I was watching a documentary, not a movie. You know what I mean? And like almost like you feel like you're like the show, like the first 48 or something, like you're just in that interrogation room with them while they're having these conversations. And that's really what kind of like kept me engaged and kept me interested, because the two of them with the mannerisms and this real life aspect that this film has surrounding it was done very well. And they also there were points through this film where they had these I guess they're montages where like they showed these little clips of like little things. Like there was this one part where Ted Bundy talks about bringing Hagmeyer into the depths of the ocean with him, I guess by him referencing that he's going to expose these truths of all these heinous things that he's done. And when you get these montages, it'll show like hairs on an arm raising, and then the ocean, and then something else, and then the ocean, and then what I'm saying. So like I thought that was kind of like visually appealing, but more so it helped intensify the conversations that were had once you really start to get into like the depths of the things, the content of their conversation, which I thought that was a really, really cool approach. Was shot well, pretty much. Like I said, this is one just due to the subject matter and the, who it's surrounding. It's definitely not something I would go back to, but it is a highly respectfully recommended one-time watch. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm happy that I've seen it. And I would suggest that anyone who hasn't, go ahead, check it out, because it's probably one of the better versions of this subject matter that's worth watching. And it gives you more insight without having to like give you a first-class ticket into watching someone reenact these things that happen. You know what I mean?
Elijah Wood does a lot of good, or when he's
he does
producing and the acting he's been doing lately.
Yeah, and he just has like a real obscure, like, I mean, like the things that he puts his hands in, just like that one movie. What was the other movie that he acted in where he went to go visit his dad and it wasn't really his dad?
Call Me Daddy.
That one.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, dude, like this guy.
Yeah, that was a weird fucking movie.
You see what I'm saying? Like, so
he
definitely like. He definitely pushes the limits, with the things that, that he'll definitely like put his hands in and stuff. And I think that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Keep the book open, be susceptible to anything.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
My last one is one that it kind of got lost in the shuffle while we were doing our our best of episode. But I do want to talk about Don't Look Up, which popped up on Netflix, and basically it's starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, and a whole rack of other people. But two low-level astronomers must go on a giant meteor tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. And the thing about this thing, it's a mixed bag for me personally. I feel like I love what this film was presenting to us, man. Like if you like the thing about it, I started it and then I walked away. Then I had to go back and restart it. But once I pushed through and got to the meat of this thing, I was actually blown away, man. So the thing about it, let me get to this cast though. This is crazy. The cast is nuts. Got Jennifer Lawrence, Kate Blanchett, Ariana Grande, Timothy Chalamet, Meryl Streep, Chris Evans, Mark Rylance, Jonah Hill, Melanie Linsky, Kid Cudi, countless others, Rob Morgan, Tyler Perry, Gina Gershon. Like it's so many people in this thing. Michael Chiklis and Leonardo DiCaprio. but here's the thing about this film. Like this is the same guy. I think it's McKay.
Adam
who
McKay.
does this thing. And he's done a lot of great comedies, like such as Talladega Nights, Weatherman. You know what I'm saying? Step Brothers. And it's just like, but this feels a little different for me, and I think that's where it got so hard for me to get into it because it does, like, for me, it felt like in the beginning we get introduced to these characters and it is kind of a little bit dry in the beginning, in my opinion. But what blew me away about this film was the realistic way that society was responding to this situation. And it was a lot like what's going on now. Like the big scheme of things, people say this film was really about how we've been reacting to climate change. But for me, it was more immediately how we've been reacting to this COVID situation. And it's crazy when you look at the characters go down. There's so many character types that show up that I see every day. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that showing these realistic reactions, like this person is like the thing that got me, one of the most interesting scenes when they go to the pretty much the CNN, you know, but it's more like a morning show, put it that way. So they're being really earnest and forthright. Yo, a meteor is coming and it's gonna fuck us up. And these hosts played by Tyler Perry and Kate Blanchett, which was great casting, man. The thing about Tyler Perry, say what you want about his movies, but in the acting tip, this guy kills it every time, man. I love him in acting roles, man. Even Baxter Stockman in Ninja Turtles Part 2, Out of the Shadows. Oh my God, like his laugh is crazy. But also seeing Kate Blanchett playing this kind of role too. Usually she's a more serious, you know, down to earth actor, but it's fun seeing her get to play around like this. And even you see some of that in Nightmare Alley with you know, her character in that. So she's taking these roles on there where she's getting to have more fun. But take it back to that scene, it's like we're looking at these two people being real earnest, delivering this news that should topple the earth, but these hosts are playing it for entertainment, and they're not taking none of this seriously.
And sugarcoating,
and it's a joke to them, yo. Yeah. But really, the fucking comet is on this collision course to Earth, and it's so crazy to see throughout the course of the movie the many ways that people are not they all in the Kool-Aid but don't know the flavor. You know what I'm saying? They're not reacting to this in a way that they should be taking it seriously, and it's not because they don't want to. It's just because they're predisposed to what social media has done to us and what our own so-called free thinking has done to us, and in all this crazy ways, man. It really mirrors what's going on right now in the real world, things that we're dealing with. So with that said, I gotta mention this film, and I gotta say it's worth watching. There's definitely people who are reacting to it way better than I am. For me, it's a mediocre film that has such a great positive message that is worth watching, man. My problems with the film are with maybe just the delivery. Like for me, it doesn't start cooking till halfway in, and this is a 2.5 hour film. So that's a lot to get people to sit through. And I know, and I've seen people responding to online to posts that I made about it. Like, yeah, I wanted to bail a couple times, but I'm glad that I stuck with it. And for some people, it's going to rock with them right off the top. But for me, it took a while to get into it. But once I got into it and they got cooking, I was thoroughly entertained, especially when we got to the point where we get this composite character that's pretty much Elon Musk and who's this Amazon fucking Bill Gates. He's half of I forgot the
Bezos,
dude. Bezos, all in one with the TV. Like, dude, I was dying watching that dude, and it has such a crazy conclusion that totally makes sense. This film it seems like something that's far fetched in a comedy, but honestly, I think the irony of this film is
we actually live
living through this right now. You know,
because the whole thing is they know it's something fixing to hit the earth, but the deniers are saying don't look up.
Yeah,
and that which is like insane because you know when you finally look up, you see it's almost too late because everybody started freaking out after that. But
I understand the approach, and like this is kind of like one of those satire films, and I get it.
Yeah.
And I definitely there were slight moments that I found enjoyable from this film, and definitely to Cora's point, it definitely touches on a lot of things that we are going through currently as far as how the media dictates and puppet masters and how we would rather be unaware than be knowledgeable about the things that are going on, so we can just try to continue on with our own sense of normalcy in life. But the thing that Yeah, but what really deterred me about this film was the amount of times it took me to actually sit and watch it. I mean, it took me
at
4 runs,
least 2 times, bro.
so
I feel
4
you.
different times.
I feel you.
I had to sit down. And I will say this: like, I'm not going to gush over it. I didn't find it as enjoyable as a lot of people that want to say these positive things. And Corey gave enough positivity on this film. So one thing I will say is this: it's too long.
Yeah, it
took the scenic route. Like it's like we don't need to count the leaves on every tree on the way to the ending to get to Wally World. You know what I mean? Like let's speed it up a little bit. And also, I'm sorry for you 1 second. I hate to dunk on her, but I gotta say that Jennifer Lawrence was really dragging me down in this, and like the last few films I've seen with her in it, I feel like she's been sleepwalking. Like all the reviews that praise this film, none of them mention that they skip over Jennifer Lawrence totally being in it. Me, that was a really big negative. Like every time she was on screen, it felt excruciating. That's what I was going to get into as well. But I feel like also this one, I feel like she was probably directed or coaxed into playing this kind of role. I mean, when you look at her wardrobe, her I mean, she was dumbed down in such a way to be a certain, like she wanted, like they wanted her to be insignificant. She was just supposed to be the one who found out first and the one that no one was going to listen.
Yeah, but she wasn't. She wasn't supposed to be in the spotlight or anything. Kind of like DiCaprio was kind of downplayed a bunch.
Yeah, but he was. I feel like he was giving it his all. We got a more dynamic performance from him versus the flat one note from Lawrence. Like anyone could have played that role. Well, and if you replace her with any other actor, like I wouldn't have missed her.
The thing is like for me, like there wasn't really much. Like there's like. You couldn't pay me to watch this film again. I didn't take anything like really, that much, like I said, I didn't find much positivity out of it. Like the ending was the ending. It's kind of like for me, it's what you see is what you get. I feel like I would have had a better time had they shaved off 45 minutes worth of the fillers and the extra build up that they tried to give us. It felt like there were times where you get from the dryness from the beginning, and then there is a severe dry point midway through.
The scene where she's working as a cashier, and these 3 dudes walk into the I didn't need to see none of that mattered. Those guys. But there were other characters and other situations in this film that they could have shaved off too. I mean, there was just so much filler that made I feel like the meat and potatoes of this film seemed just so insignificant that it just like by the time it really. You know what, man? It felt like the extended cut of Talladega Nights, where the first cut was great, but then. Yeah, you added these extra scenes, but that first cut was fine. So it's like
This one to me is just
2.5 hours.
It was a clear cut version of what happens when you overcook the chili, and that's to me. That's what I got from it, and I couldn't because I was noticing all these other things and just became so unenjoyable, and that it took me 4 different sittings to actually get from point A to point B with this film. Like by the time I was in my 3rd viewing of just getting through the film, I already had a negative approach, and the things, they weren't hitting me the way that they possibly should have, and that's just my own personal perspective. But I don't like films that take me down that road. You know what I'm saying? Like this one, I feel like it would have been everything that they expected it to be if it was about an hour 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And just stick to the
but you're covering more than 1 or 2 characters.
My thing though is like
there's a big cast, so
you can still do that. You can still do that, and everyone can still play their role, and they can still do what they do.
About like some of them characters, they weren't mentioned. I will say this, like as much like I think the overall whole of what the film was trying to do makes it worth a watch to me. You know what I'm saying? That is it. But whether how much you're gonna like it, that's just gonna depend on personal taste.
Like me, and see, that's where I beg to differ. Like my favorite character in there was probably Jonah Hill, and this one was a forgettable film for me. Like I could have never seen it, and I wouldn't have lost no sleep.
Okay.
But hey, that's what I say, man. Make your own mind up.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
That's why we bring these up.
That's why we bring these up. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
So, is it on me for my last?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I got
All
shit
right.
else.
So, the last film I have is one that, if I would have saw this before we did our end of the year review, it probably would have gotten my notable mention, or I don't know if it would have found my way on my top 5. But if we did a top 7, this one would have been on there. You know what I'm saying? And it's a film called Blue Bayou, and this one. So pretty much, as far as the synopsis goes, it revolves around an adopted Korean American man that's raised in the Louisiana Bayou, and he's working hard to make a better life for his family. And due to an unforeseen course of events that take place, he's forced to have to confront the ghosts of his past, while at the same time facing deportation from the States. And that as far as what this film really like I said, the meat and potatoes of it, that's what you get. But what makes this film exceptionally awesome to me and puts it in my must-see categories is everything else that this film brings. For starters, the director Justin Chon, he also wrote the film, and he also starred in the lead role, and he killed it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like his character that he portrayed, he did a magnificent job, and the subject matter, like it really it gave perspective for me. It exposes a lot of the inconsistencies that people are faced with when adopted from other foreign countries by U.S. citizen families, and if those families don't do right by them as far as filling out this paperwork and stuff, if anything happens along the course of that their lifespan, and they never get these papers or documents filled out, they could just get deported. And I was unaware of that. I mean, I was just I never really looked into it too much, and so this film really it exposed that side of things for me, which I now am more interested in that, and I want to kind of look into it a little more. But also the usage of time, like this film had me pulled in right out the gate. Like you see what this character is faced with, being a convicted felon, non-violent crimes, but convicted felon nonetheless, and how hard it is to gain employment and try to do the right thing. So it's already hitting on certain key notes that I kind of know individuals that have to kind of go through these things and stuff, and how hard it is. Like it's like you go to jail for whatever you're supposed to pay your penance and get come out and get a second chance at a better life, and no one gives you these opportunities. It's almost like you're forced to have to double back into things that you were trying to stay away from, just because that's the force of nature, and that's not okay. And that really that was gripping to me, and that was in the first scene of the movie. You get that, and then it takes you on this emotional ride. Like it really touches heavy on the family dynamics, how hard it is when you're if you're like we'll say like the stepfather. Like this young man in this film, he is the stepfather, but the bond and the relationship between him and his stepdaughter was just it was amazing to see on screen. I think that like they covered that so well, to see how like when this situation happens and it happens in the right way, it's a beautiful thing. And all the other emotion that this film had, it was just so jam-packed with it. Like it's 2 hours, but there is not a minute wasted. And unlike the some other films that we've seen, the characters that they bring into this film, the character buildup was amazing, but every character that we were introduced to felt like purposeful. They were significant to the storyline as this thing was growing into what it manifested to as a film. And it was so cool to sit back and watch this, but at the same time very I don't want to say discouraging, but heartfelt. Like it tugged heavy on the heartstrings for me, because you're watching somebody give their all, try their best, and not because they're failing in their efforts, the world is failing them. You know what I mean? And like everything that they are trying to do is just, being misconstrued and manipulated by other forces or people in positions of power, and they're just pretty much pulling the rug out from underneath this individual's feet, and he's trying to do the right thing. And that might not hit heavy for everybody, but that hits heavy for me. You know what I mean? Like I see things like that, and it's very relatable and it's realistic. This film to me was like these characters, these were real people. This was realistic. It was intense, and it was stuff that happens all the time in everyday life. And for that, I feel like this movie it definitely it moved up the ranks for me. And what really solidified it was the third phase. Like I said, the character buildup, the plot buildup, the emotional buildup that we get throughout this whole film. Once you get into the third phase, it is so powerful and so just engulfing with what's going on. Even those that don't have a conscience or whatever the case is going to feel something. You know what I'm saying? When you get into the third phase of this film and everything transpires, and the ending was just so gripping to me. Like it resonates. This film, it resonates long after the credits stop rolling. And there is a before the credits start, there is a it's almost like a tribute to it's loosely based on a real individual. And then they show these pictures of all these individuals who were adopted and deported. You know what I'm saying? They were adopted by U.S. citizens. You would think. I mean, they spent years in the States. Like this guy was here for 30 plus years. This was the only place he knew, and he was just getting thrown away like trash. And it was gut wrenching. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. The way that things were happening. As far as that, it just, like I said, it resonated with me long after the credits stopped rolling. I actually started looking into things, you know what I'm saying, just because I was unknowledgeable about a lot of things of this subject matter. But this film, like I said, it's a must watch. I'm already tracking it down. Physical media, it's must watch, must own film, and it definitely I think that it's going to be one that brings light to certain situations and could have effects on
what's
people.
up, man. I did start watching that, but I think what happened when I put it on, like it was late, you know what I'm saying? So but what I did see, I think I got about 40 minutes in, and it was definitely entertaining me, but I think it dropped at a time where I had so much other things on my plate that I forgot to get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely going to check this thing out for you, man. But yeah, that's it, folks, man. I think we're done for this episode, man. We're going to be back with another one. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel and support all our endeavors. We got the links for the merch in the video as well, so you can get cool t-shirts like this. You know what I'm saying? And help support us. And we're going to be dropping more stuff for you, man. I think this year we're trying to get more bigger, man. So there's going to be some experimentation in the format of how we do these things. But also I want to point out, too, on the channel, you're going to see a new playlist, which is going to highlight the trailers that Bobby brings up. So if you want to go and see that stuff, you go directly there and see what we're going to be talking about. You know what I'm saying, in these newer episodes. But I think that's it, man. It's been Monk. You can catch us at FromTheCanopyPod@gmail.com. You can email us at FromCanopy. On Twitter, you can follow us there, and at FromTheCanopy on Gmail. On Instagram. My bad. I'm fucking this all up. Hold on. All right, let me take this rubber. I'm gonna edit that out. But follow us at FromCanopy on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram at FromTheCanopy, and you can email us FromTheCanopyPod@gmail.com. You know.
And this is Bobby Blockbuster. You can catch me on Instagram at Bobby Blockbuster 118.
All right, man. What you got?
I'm Cornelius. You can find me on Facebook, Cornelius Bros, on Instagram, Cornelius Bros, on Twitter at Cornelius1976, and on TikTok. At some point, I will be making TikTok videos, but not anytime soon.
He ain't making no TikToks,
I don't believe you,
man. Get off.
We've been
here.
hearing
And
that
also
for
this
2 years
weekend, I'm gonna be on Talk Without Rhythm podcast covering Alita Battle Angel and Speed Racer. Me and El Goro are gonna talk about those two films.
Shout out to Ian, man. You can see you. All right, folks, man. Gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.